Hello, this is a tutorial on using the learning platform or tool called Kahoot. Kahoot is similar to other apps like Poll Everywhere and Socrative, but it has some additional features that the other two do not have. This becomes an audience response quiz, but it can be a lot of fun because it's timed and students can play and compete against one another. And there you have the ability to add images, videos, you can do discussion questions, and you can even do surveys, all with the same platform. In order to access, it's getkahoot.com, and it's free. Once you go to getkahoot.com, you can go here to this box where it says get my free account, and it takes about 30 seconds. Beyond that, you will then sign in. I have now signed in, and you can see my name over here in the corner. I don't have anything going on right now. I don't have any Kahoots built. Otherwise, I'd get some information here. This is a quick video if I wanted to learn how to do some of this, or I got confused at some point or wanted to see what else it could do. If I'm going to make a new Kahoot, I go here. This gives me a list of everything that I have going on in my area. This is where I go to help. These are the types of Kahoots I can create. I can create a quiz. It's going to be a multiple choice type of a format. You can have anywhere from a couple up to 6 maximum answer choices. Discussion is going to be just what it is, or what it sounds like, and that is a sentence, a question, that can be used then for some interaction. Maybe you get students together in groups, maybe it's individual, maybe you have them write a short paper, or it's some discussion that you have in class. And then the survey is just what the name implies. So at this particular point, I'm going to create a new one, and I'm going to create a new quiz. So we start by giving the quiz a name. Call it test quiz, and hit go. So I put in my first question. And now I have a choice of doing video or image just by clicking on these appropriate tabs. Notice that it says video is experimental. I understand that this is going to allow for larger videos in the future. Right now, I believe the limit is a 1.5 megabit video, so that's relatively small. So I'm going to do an image. So I will go in the middle of the page here where it says choose file. Click on that. We'll choose an image. And that's going to load. It can be a JPEG or a PNG file. I'm just going to put some answers in here. Oops. So I have my answers. I could add additional answers if I wanted to. I could subtract answers. I'm going to mark the correct answer. And at this point, I'm going to then add another question. Go get another picture. So I'm going to grab this picture and load that in. And I'm going to put my choices here. Mark that as the correct answer. I think that's as far as I need to go. You have to have at least 2 questions in order to create one. So I am good at this point. The other thing I want to show you is you have the ability here to say that this particular question is going to be a points question, or it's going to be a no points question. I'm going to leave it as a points question. And you also have the ability then to identify how long you will give them to answer the question. 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever. The way this works is when students actually play the game, in other words, play the Kahoot and run through the questions, you get correct answer, points for correct answers. You also get points for not only correct answers, but how fast somebody got the answer. So each question, as soon as it's released, if you were to click and get the right answer, the maximum is 1,000 points, and those number of points decrease the longer you take to answer the question. So we can move it anywhere we want. I'm going to change it to 20 seconds. If you have a number of students taking this quiz, once all students have answered, or once 20 seconds hits, in this case, since 20 seconds is what I chose, that's as far as it's going to go. It will then stop at that point. At this point, we are done with the questions. So I'm going to go over here to the bottom right where it says Next Reorder Questions. This advances me to my next screen. So you can see I have 2 questions here. What location is this and who is this? I have the ability to move the questions in a different order. Right now, my first question has 30 seconds, my second question has 20 seconds, and there are 4 possible choices. I'm going to go down here and click to, I can edit the question if I need to, but I'm good, so I'm going to go over here to Next Settings. We're going to say English. This is our privacy settings like there usually is. If it's a private situation, then it's essentially it's like a link that you share. Your particular quiz is going to have a number associated with it. You just need to give that number to your students, have that number accessible to your students. Students have the ability to take this quiz on any type of mobile device, laptop, Chromebook, smartphone, tablet of any kind. If you list it as public, anybody who finds this particular quiz, and there's a lot of quizzes that are listed out on Kahoot, they can get access to that. If it's a private setting, then only those who are going to be in front of you. This is something you're going to want to do in person, right in the class. Priority audience, we're going to say university. Description, you can put some description in there. If you're going to have it public, you also have the ability to put tags in so people could locate it. We're not necessarily going to be doing that. And then you have the ability to kind of identify what type of level of question it is. This is a great tool to use for formative assessment, maybe a review before a quiz or an exam, and you'll see that as we have going forward. So I'm just kind of making a determination myself based on the content, so I'm going to go right here. I'm going to click on Next Cover Image. You have the ability, if you want to, you can have a cover image or like a photo or a graphic that is on this quiz when it launches, but you do not have to. So I'm going to say Done. So you can preview it, you can edit it, or you can play it right now. You also have the ability to share through all of the normal social media types of things, but we're going to go ahead and play it. So we're now going to play this quiz. On the left, you're looking still at my instructor screen. This is what you would be pulling up in the classroom. You also have to have this computer or whatever device you're using to create and launch the quiz. You need to have that hooked up to a projector of some sort or a television so that students have access to it. On the right, you'll see my iPhone, and so we're assuming that this is going to be a student who's going to participate in this quiz. So you're now going to view what it looks like on the student's side. So we're going to launch the quiz. I have the ability to adjust various settings here, play music in the lobby while waiting, randomize the order of questions. I'm not going to do anything here. I also have some advanced options down here. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to hit launch. So it's going to be building. And so this is the important number. Students need to have this. So a student will go using the browser on the phone. So for me, I'm going to use Safari. So I just tapped on Safari. And so I'm going to go to Kahoot.it. There it is. And so what it wants me to do now is to enter this PIN number 3381. This is the private number specifically assigned to this particular game. And then I hit enter. So the student is now in this particular game. The student can either put their name in if you want names to be shown. You can go last name, first name. They can just put their first name in. They can create a nickname. That's up to you, depending on what. So this is going to show on the board. So assuming you're doing this for fun, you have to make that determination whether or not it's something you want to let everybody see as they're competing against one another, or if you just want to have them do that for fun and everybody has to put in a unique fake name. So I'm just going to put in Bob, and I'm actually going to join the game. So it says you're in, and it says, did you see your name appear on the front? And here it is. So I would have a whole list of all of my players would be here. So as the teacher, I'm now going to hit start now. 2 questions. Are you ready? So remember, speed and accuracy count. So question 1 of 2 for up to 1,000 points. And this one, I think my picture must have been real large. You can obviously turn the volume down. You don't have to have it at all. I think that picture was too large. Normally it would show up in the spot. It's not, but I'll just tell you the correct answer is Hawaii. So as a student, I'm going to hit that item that represented Hawaii. It's correct. So notice, even though I got it right, the total points possible was 1,000. I only got 583. That's because out of that 30 seconds, I wasted quite a lot by kind of thinking about it and so forth. So the amount of points that I get goes down. The other thing I'm going to do now at this point is we're going to go to the next question. So you could do the other questions right after one another. You could actually have more lecture material coming in and have the questions a little bit spread out, however you'd want to do that. So again, next, I also, you know, for those of you, I don't know if you heard it through my earphones or not, but there was that music. You can actually turn that down or even off just by muting the volume on your computer. That might be a little annoying. It could also add to the tension if that was something that you wanted to do. So you have to decide and play with that. So at this particular point, I am going to hit next. It shows the scores here. So again, if there were more students, it would show everybody's score. So how we have ready, 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 who is this? And so obviously my first picture must have been too large. So if I know who this particular person is, Abraham Lincoln, which is that square down at the bottom, I was correct. And see how I was much faster answering the question this time. So I actually got 800 points on this one. So if there were more questions, I could click next. I could hit end, which is where we're at because we only had 2 questions. So it tells me who the winner is of this particular game. So it shows that Bob was the winner with 1,383 total Kahoot points. I got 2 correct, 0 incorrect. Feedback and results as the teacher. Now you could stop right here if you wanted to, but you also have the ability to take this a little bit further. You can have some fun here where students have the ability. So it, for example, as you can see over here on the student's device, how was it? How fun was it? And students have the ability to vote, and maybe they had a lot of fun with it. This is some feedback for you. You know, did you learn something? Do you recommend it? So maybe you had some fun. You know, Bob must have liked it because he actually did pretty well. So let's say I go forward, did you learn something? I'll say yes, and do you recommend it? Okay, so I'll say yes, and I was pretty happy, so I'll go down here and hit the smiley face. And so Again, all the students would do this, so you can find out how well they actually like this activity, whether or not it was worth it again, did they get something out of it, that type of a thing, okay? And as you see here, the results go to the student themselves. They finished first with 1,383, all that kind of thing. So that's how it works for doing a quiz. So let's stop right here and we'll talk about the other two choices. So as the teacher now, I'm back to the main screen. We had done quiz. I do want to show you briefly. They're a lot easier to deal with and so forth. They don't require a lot of additional explanation, but I did want to show them to you. You could actually do formative assessment piece with a discussion. And click on this, and you can just create a discussion question here. So we have a question. We could put an image in here if we wanted, or, you know, again, time limit, how long you want them to discuss it. This could be something that could start off with a response on their mobile device or on their computer, and then depending on how it shook out as you look at what all the answers revealed, you could actually have an engaged conversation, or maybe get some people together that all thought the same way and put them into small groups and have them do a little bit deeper dive. Maybe it carries forward to maybe a little research project or something like that. Again, you would go to next settings in order to finalize all those things like we did in the first situation. So the last thing to show you is the survey, which is the third type of Kahoot. And we give the survey a name. Say go. And then the same thing. We can put a number of questions in the survey. We could add an image if we'd like to. We can give the survey a time limit, that type of deal. We can add questions, and we can go to next settings. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time going through that. You've seen how that worked when we did the quiz. It works the same way, and students will launch it the same way. They would go to kahoot.it. They would put in your quiz number, the code that you're going to get once you generate the quiz. And again, they can participate with a mobile device, so a smartphone. They can participate with a tablet. They can have a laptop, a desktop, a Chromebook, whatever is going to happen, or they're going to have access to in the classroom. You as the instructor are going to need to be able to project. So if you have this on a laptop, you have to have it connected to a projector or to a TV screen or something that projects so students can see this. Again, a nice tool for formative assessment, doing maybe some reflection pieces and maybe some last minute kind of studying for an exam coming up. It's great for review. So hope you enjoyed it. Hope you can find some uses for it.